Welcome to our online lesson. Today we are on day 8 of Zoroastrianism, and our topic today will be the Avesta, the sacred book of the Zoroastrian community. Read the next two paragraphs, the first and the second paragraphs, and then I have two questions for you. The first one, how do you defend the first two sentences of the first paragraph? Was there written language during prehistory? Let's take a look at the first two sentences. The Zoroastrian scripture is the Avesta. Its contents were created over many centuries, reaching back into prehistory. Alright, so what they're saying is that the Avesta, the contents, the information of the Avesta were composed even during the prehistory or goes back into prehistory. That's how old their contents, the information of the Avesta. The question that comes in is, if they did not have a written language, how do we know that they were passed on all the way till today? How do we know the accuracy of that information that we have today when everything was orally transmitted? Everything was orally transmitted. What guarantees the accuracy of all that information? Question number 2. List few problems when we regard the Holy Scripture, the words, the language, to have immense spiritual power. You notice if you read the second paragraph, it says that not only do they teach truth, but merely to speak the Avestan words aloud, or to hear them spoken by priests in a special blessing that helps to fight evil and further the cause of truth in the world. So what they're saying is that when you even hear the word being spoken, that word has power. When you give such power to a book, to a holy scripture, that its words have power, the language that it speaks has power, spiritual power, that it can even drive evil away. My question is, what are some other problems that you face when you exalt, when you uplift book to have such kind of power? Some clue to think about. If it is a book, a physical book, then it can be easily disrespected. People could burn it, tear it, and do all kinds of things to it. That is actually the first problem that I see. If you regard a holy book to have such power and you think that is coming down from heaven or something, people can always disrespect it. And when they do so, how do people react to that? And that's where we may have a problem. There could be other problems too. Think about some of those and list down some of the problems that you can see when we take a book and uplift it and exalt it to be such powerful. But then again, they are physical. They can be easily trampled and disrespected. Then what happens? Alright, moving on with our third paragraph. After you read the third paragraph, it's a long paragraph, lengthy paragraph. After you read that, then I have here one question, and that is, after reading the above paragraph, what is your value judgment on Zoroastrian religion? Meaning, with so much loss of their core religious text and information, how can it stand as a religion today? If you read that paragraph, you will notice that how Alexander the Great, when he came to Persia in about 330 BCE, his main goal was to destroy everything about the Avesta. He found around 12,000 goat skins that were used to write down all the written words using gold. All that was burned down. They even burned down the library, they burned down the temples. So much loss for the Zoroastrian community. Even many priests who perhaps memorized all that information in their head, even they were slaughtered, killed. Now the question is, with so much loss of their core religious text and information, how can it stand as a religion today? If you actually read the next paragraph, you will notice, or you'll find out, that actually the Avesta that we have today is just 1/4 of the original Avesta, meaning 3/4 of it is destroyed, is lost. Even the Zoroastrians do not know what are the information that was in that 3/4 of the book. All they have today is just 1/4. With so much loss, how can it stand as a religion today? What do you think? Answer that. You could defend it, or you could answer that as if you find it as a problem. Or do you think it can still stand as a religion with just 1/4 of the information? Alright, our fourth paragraph and our last paragraph, and we have one last question. So there are just 4 questions today in this activity. What do you think ancient empires always attacked and ransacked the religious institutions? What do they gain by doing so? Yeah, you will see this happening in everywhere, in every culture. Whenever an empire comes and attacks the other empire, they always go directly into their temples, into their religious institutions, and they try to burn and ransack and kill the priest, burn the temple, burn the holy scripture. Why? Why do they always focus on the religious institutions? Why? What do they gain by doing so? What is the purpose of throwing down their religious institution? What do they gain? Well, I think one of the main importance about religious teachings is that it gives people, it helps them to be united. They have this one purpose, one goal, and that helps them to be together. It gives them the values, it gives them the ethical code, it gives them the identity. All right, and so when those temples or these institutions are being attacked and destroyed, you get to totally confuse the rest of the community. They are no more, they don't feel the identity anymore, and they feel lost. And so their power is taken away from them. They become powerless. They start running away. They start to find their own ways, and they become weak. And so in future, it's easier to control them. So these are some of the reasons why they would attack religious institutions. Alright, so if you are done, please turn in your assignment now. Type them nicely. Make sure all your answers are highlighted in red color font. And don't forget to turn in, because if you don't turn in, I cannot mark and send it to you. And so if you remember to turn in after a day or 2, you are losing points. Okay, so please remember to turn in before the period is over. Have a nice day, and I will see you on our next video. Bye.